Hey, first grade. It is June 1st, Monday. We are going to continue to do a little bit with trick words. We are approaching the end of our list of trick words. I was pleased to see how many of you had gone through the worksheet that I made available last week, sorting through the words that we were introduced to, as well as a couple that we weren't. So today I wanted to touch on a couple of them that were on the list, make sure that you understand how to say them, and also at least one of them I can give you sort of a trick for how to spell it. So let's review quickly through some of the other words that you have already learned. I wanted to go through these, the question words, because those are going to continue to be very important as you go up through the grades. There's always going to be tests and quizzes, and you're going to need to be able to recognize the question words and maybe even be able to spell them. So very quickly, the WH words. Who, with the O at the end. W-H-O, that's who. When, W-H-N. What, which is tricky primarily because the A doesn't sound like an A. And where, as well as there and here, all of them have here in them, and they all relate to where something is, its place. So the first one is where, asking the question, the location. There, telling that's the place, or here, saying it's in this place. So those are your question words. Oops. Then we had our set of rhyming words, which continued to be a challenge for some of you. Would, could, and should. W-O-U-L-D. That's the best way I've learned to remember how to spell them, is to make that little rhyming, rhythmy kind of thing. W-O-U-L-D, W-O-U-L-D, C-O-U-L-D, S-H-O-U-L-D. That's the best I can do for you. And some and come, which should say some and comb, but they don't, and that's why they're tricky. These, if you see it says so me, some, so me, but this doesn't make any sense that way. Anyway, S-O-M-E, C-O-M-E. All right. Very quickly, I'm not going to bother with spelling on any of these. I'm just going to go through them. Here's any, many, other, another, rhyming words. How, now, day, may, way, say, and then the tricky one says. Down here, we have see, and over here on the other side, between. Both have that vowel team E-E in them. And the first part is a word, a trick word that you learned a long time ago, be. So we put be, and then we put the tween afterwards. Then we get to this word, which has vowel team E, but it doesn't say E, which is what makes it tricky. This looks like it should be pronounced bean, but it's pronounced bin, bin. So if you hear it and you're supposed to spell it, that's where the tricky part comes in. Bin is B-E-N, B-E-N. Friend, or friend. And then here we have how and now, and this is down, but then we come over here and we have own. How now, down, own. So O-W-N, for some reason, is not own, it's own. Then we have some of our vowel team OU words. We've got our, out, about. All of those are the OU sound that we're typically hear. Then some of our two-syllable words, no thing or nothing, over, over, little, and number. So being able to read them is pretty simple if you tap them out or if you split them, as I've mentioned before. Then we have the couple words that we were introduced last week. This is W-O-R-D, which looks like it should say ward, if you remember that R control vowel, O-R goes or. But, as I mentioned, sometimes R control vowel, O-R says So this is word, and this is work. And we put them together because of that exception to the rule, word and work. And over here, we have R-controlled IR saying also. So we have the word first. The other trick word we learned last week was right. And I told you that it's kind of like you would expect it to be spelled. You need the E to make the I say its name. The only tricky part is the W at the beginning. That you can't hear. So reading it is just a matter of remembering that WR still goes R. And you're going to find WR in other words, like wrong. Oddly enough, wrong looks like it's spelled wrong. So that's our word right. So today, there were two other words on that worksheet that you had to do last week. And I'm missing my sticky stuff. There it is. And this is one of the reasons I pulled out our where, there, and here is because I wanted to compare this. This word is actually pronounced there, but then so is this word. So there and there. Now what's the difference? This word there means that location. These all have to do with location. This word there means it belongs to those people. So we saw their house would be a way to use this word there. Or did you find their belongings? If you want to try and spell it, the way I remember it is the IR, just like when we write they, the Y, the IR is there. So it's related to they. So we say they are here, they brought their dessert there. So the IR is one way to help you remember to spell it correctly. So that's one of the new ones that you found on that sheet that I gave you, which we hadn't really talked about. So I'm going to add there, the IR over here. We've got a very full wall here, and in fact, there were a number of them that are not up there that I didn't include. The other one, I can kind of show you how it would be kind of easy to remember how to spell it. You know this word, be, right? And you know that this is glued sound ing. So the word is being. So really it's just spelling be and putting the glued sound ing. And that's the way to spell it correctly. Being. So that is the other trick word that was on that worksheet. So the good news, the exciting news, is that you are not going to have any additional work. You got to do this one already. So no new assignments, which should be a relief. But if you haven't completed work from last week or you're missing assignments from previously, this week is your opportunity to catch up. So I strongly recommend that you look through all the assignments that you've been receiving just to make sure that you're all up to date and use this time this week to get everything turned in. It's really important for us because that's the way we're going to determine what grades to assign. All right, everybody, remember, being the IR there, the IR there. Okay. All right. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.